Welcome to Empyrion Galactic Survival, and here we are, guys. We're down on Akua. We're just before dawn, and if you look on the horizon there, I've highlighted what will be the main objective of this part, which is we're going to go and investigate the MS Titan crash site and talk a little bit about the issues around, well, extracting the resources from that. But before we do that, guys, a couple of things that I want to talk about, and the first one is a direct result of your feedback and comments, something I really appreciate, guys, because you guys are teaching me so much about the detail of this game, and it just goes to show the sheer depth of this game as well. And well, to be honest, I honestly believe that no one person could sit and play this game and learn every single little detail aspect. And this is why I really like making these videos. One, because you guys are teaching me so much, and two, I just want to pass on these tips and information to the wider community, and I hope you guys really appreciate it, and as much as I appreciate you telling me. And this tip is a direct result of the previous video when I talked about the difference between deconstruct and disassemble, and it's actually given to me both by John VZ800 and Sticks Annihilator, and I think it's a very good tip, actually, guys. It's something that I think is something that many people wouldn't realise, and it does make a big difference, especially if you have a big project that you want to work on, and that is a way to extract some of the rarer elements such as sathium as ingots using the factory. And just to illustrate it, guys, we're just going to come back here, and what I've already done is I've already got some good old hardened steel blocks out. And the way it works, guys, is if you press F3, not F3, what am I on about? If you go to blueprint, if you choose a simple template like this base here that's made of wood plank, silicon, copper, iron, and a couple of growing plants, and if you go to the factory, guys, you will see that there is no requirement from sathium. Ignore the sathium entry at the bottom. That's effectively just telling me that I've got 14 sathium ingots in my factory. But as you can see, because it's not highlighted, it's not part of the requirements for this base. What those guys actually told me is that if you drop in so I was just going to drop the hard steel block in. If you watch, you can see obviously the iron's been added to the template, but you can see I've got 2 sathium ingots. Now, me dropping one in is illustrated the point, because if you remember the calculations that I did in the last part, a single hardened steel block actually should return 2.5 sathium ingots, but of course you can't have 0.5 of a sathium ingot when you actually take this approach. So what you need to remember is that if you're going to extract a rare element, what you need to do is make sure that you drop in, just as an example here, guys, the amount that rounds out the ingots that you're after. You're not worried about all the rest like the iron or anything else. All you're worried about is the sathium. So if I do it this time, that should go up to 7, because we've now got the full 5 sathium ingots out. And I think this illustrates quite clearly how you can actually get these ores out, and then of course you can then use these ores to make other things besides hardened steel blocks. And I think that's a really cool tip, guys, and I really appreciate you for sharing that with you and allowing me to share it to other people watch this video. So that's the first thing I wanted to do before we go, just to also give you guys a quick view of the garden. It's coming along really nicely. I'm not going to waste your time picking the stuff. And the other thing I also want to do now is we're just going to come into here and go to the advanced constructor. What I want to do is make a couple of things, and I've got to remember what I want to make. Hang on, let me just check my notes. Yes, I need a oh, I haven't unlocked it. That might account for it, guys. What I actually want is a repair station and an armor locker. So I'm just gonna unlock these. So we've got these unlocked. Yep. It's a classic case of thinking about it when we're not actually doing it. So what we should be able to do now is I can find them in here. Sometimes they don't update straight away. So we got advanced station there, got a repair bay. Can't do the repair bay. Got the repair station there, and you can see we can. And I want the armor locker as well. The reason I want to do this is if you see down here my drill's damaged, and if I come out I'll just do this first, guys, so we can place these items. And also my armor is actually damaged, and so in the process of building the base up, these are probably the next kind of key elements that you actually want to do. I think, again, I can never really tell the way that should look. I think that's the right way round. Yeah. So that's the repair station, and what we're going to do is just drop the armor locker. Don't like that. Maybe we'll just put the armor locker. Put the armor locker next door, like. No. Can we get the armor locker there? Yeah, maybe that look a bit tidier. And as I say, these are two key elements here. We'll just drop this in here, and of course we'll just repair it. And you can see you don't get a full repair with these, and you can see that you only can repair something a limited amount of time, which is okay, guys. And of course if we go to the armor locker, actually let me just, I think I've got some spare armor, I think is it. I'm not sure where it is. I think it could be in general supplies. Yep. I don't think I've got any more enhancements. Just let's have a look in the junk box. I don't know why it's. Yep, we got here, so we can put the EVA boost. Got a couple of EVA boosts. We only need one really. Jetpack, mobility. Yeah. What we can do now. Well, just do it the quick way, guys. And what you can do now, see, is once you've got the armor locker, you can actually swap there, and we can move to a medium armor. I must admit, I do quite like the medium armor. And of course, what we can do is just put this in. I don't know, that's not that damaged actually. So I think maybe we'll go with the medium armor. You can see the difference in the stats, guys. So you can see you can move quicker with the lighter armor. And of course the food consumption rate actually increases as well, so maybe I should stick with the light armor for the moment, and maybe we should just repair it. I think we'll be okay. I'm not sure whether, because the repair station doesn't always let you. Whoops, bit of a fail there, guys. So let's just we'll just repair the light armor. Yeah, I think we'll stick with the light armor for the moment. I mean, it's not like we're going to go toe to toe with anything that's pretty heavyweight going. So we just put that on there. And of course we'll take the helmet off because we're on Akua. I think what we'll do is put the advanced constructor. Also going to put the Sathium in there. And we'll just put the head blocks onto there. So just want to also check the drill charges before we go off anywhere else. And of course the other thing I also want is a core, because we're going to be going out and taking on the MS Titan. It's also getting a bit daylight now, so I do need to get a bit of a crack on here, guys. Yeah, oops. Okay. So we're just going to come up here. Remember to get into third person. And I'm just going to load our guns up, because obviously this location will most likely be defended by something. And this is the first step. Now these sites here are, there's normally three parts. There's a front section, a midsection and a rear section. There's the ubiquitous drone. So we need to take the drone out first. So let's get into first person. Make sure we check the range. That's the cannon drone. Gotcha. You can see straight away they're dispatching a troop ship, so we need to get in really quick and loot that drone, because there might be some goodies on it. So some might be a bit far away. Looks like there's a spider down there as well. I can't remember if I actually completed all the missions actually. Maybe we'll have a look at that. Well, I've got a little bit of resources there. Okay, oops. Oh, that's just a cricket. No point there. Actually, while we're waiting for, because now I've shot the drone, what you need to do now is just keep an eye out for the troop ship. And while that's actually going on, guys, let's just have a look. Obviously I completed these. Yep, I've completed that one, And I've completed this one. Okay. This is another good one, but quite often to do the drone hunter, you've actually got to go out. Well, let's make a start on that. So let's just activate that. And here comes the troop ship while I've been talking. Come on. Great. He's managed to get troops on the ground, which is a bit of a pain in the neck. Right, so right, I think he dropped them on the back of this hill, so okay. Oh, did he drop them on the back of the hill? Have to be a bit careful here, guys. They can be quite difficult to spot within the terrain. Sometimes the first indicator that you get. Okay, let's just go up. Okay, let's just get in and loot the troop ship. So quite often the first indicator you'll get of troops is when they actually start shooting at you. Anyway, just now we've got a heavy weapons upgrade that could be useful. Okay, let's have a quick check round. Maybe if I tempt fate by flying over the top. Okay. Maybe I've got away with it, guys. Sometimes they don't always put troops down, or they put them away down a long way away from where I am. Okay, guys, we're just gonna have to take a chance on this because I don't want to hang around here too long. So here we are, guys. This is the MS Titan Midsection. Now, this can be a good source of resources and goodies as well stashed away, because there's often cargo boxes in here. The annoying thing with this is the fact that to really exploit it properly, you've got to find the core, and the core is often buried underground. So that's the reason why that you only ever really want to take on these once you've got to a tier 2 drill. And what I'm going to do is just land on the top. Now you've got to be a bit careful landing on the top of this. Actually, because there is possible that creatures can still get up at you. And let me just ease in a bit. Yeah, so oops, I've got a bit of a flow there, guys. I'm just gonna get back into here. Yeah, because it slopes down, there's always a possibility that somebody can still, or some creature can get up here and get at you. So you got to be a bit careful. And what we're going to do is just fly back, guys, and just look round. And the first thing you want to do when you're actually dealing with, you can see there's a raptor there. Now there's possible a raptor could get in round up here. So if you look here, this end gets a bit close to the ground, so it's possible a raptor can actually get up on there. And I actually need to do this as well, guys, so that we can actually see if anyone's coming at us. And the first thing you want to do when you approach this is have a look around, see if sometimes something stands out quite obvious. So you need to use the drone to recognize things here. I don't think there's much here. Well, yeah, there's not much. I mean, most of the stuff will be buried underground. So what we're gonna have to do is try and dig down through. And this can be very, very time consuming, guys. I mean, oh, shut up. Yeah, this can be incredibly time consuming. And what you want to try and find is the core, and to find the core you've really effectively got to work on the center line, or the principle I use, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong guys, but the principle I always go for is I work on the assumption that this was originally built by somebody probably using creative mode or something like that, and they would have built it the same way as any of us would have built it. They would have put the core and then built out from the center line. So the principle I always work on is that the core should be somewhere on the center line of the ship, but that's not necessarily true, because you can always get someone who's a bit devious who will decide that they will move the cores to somewhere a bit different. Anyway, so what we're going to do is start digging in here guys. I'm aware that this is probably not going to be the most interesting thing to do, so we're just going to keep digging down here. What you're really looking for is to dig through, and sometimes it pays to follow the pillars down so you can actually see if there's actually a base or a floor underneath this stuff. So we're just going to dig through here guys. I'm just going to try and keep an eye on that radar as well, because there's no guarantee that the drone won't come in again. Right, let's just keep digging out through here. I mean, to give you an example guys, I've excavated the whole of one of these, but it took about a couple of hours of gameplay to actually excavate the whole of a Titan, and to be honest it's pretty debatable whether it's actually worth doing, to be honest. So what you're really looking for is trying to find that core. I think I'll just keep digging down. There's got to be a floor here somewhere. I must... Oh, shut up. Okay, we're just going to keep going. Well, what I'll do, guys, is I'll dig this out. Oh no! Look at that. We found the floor. Okay, that's a good sign that we've actually found the floor. Oh. See what I was saying, guys? Okay. What we got? Antidote pills. Right, we're going to have to take a precaution here, guys. Same as last words. See, my prophecy came true. Okay. We're actually going to go up in the air now. I think I better eat some food as well. And maybe have a couple of bandages. Yep. And of course, the radar doesn't actually show. Anyway, that's a good example of how not to do things, guys. Right, let's just... And of course, the trouble is going to the higher level means that... anyway, so we should be safe now. Double tab just to check for... Actually, I didn't actually... Did I? Probably won't have much on him anyway, so... But you never know. A little bit of meat could come in useful. A couple of alien tooth, okay. Right, so we're just gonna have to use the... Right, so what we're gonna do now is dig through the floor. Must admit, I do wish that the radar would give you some indication, maybe even it's just when they get close that do it, because that can be quite annoying sometimes. Right, so what I'm going to do now is just start opening up this area here, and just to emphasize, guys, I'm working on this as the center line. So if I come out here, I'm assuming that this is the entrance, so this is the center line that I'm working on. And another thing you want to be looking for is pillars. If you can find a pillar or something like that buried in here. So often the core is either underneath a pillar or in the pillar itself. Oh, what we got here, guys? Oh, I can't be this lucky, guys. Ha. Okay. And the way to check to see whether that confirmed whether that actually is the core. Yeah, that is the core. Wow. That is a surprise, guys. I'm just going to dig it out a little bit more so you can see it. Yeah, and you can see here, this is a pillar, just to confirm it, guys. It's not the edge. I'm pretty sure this will be... Oh, no, this is a pillar. This is 1 block wide. And I know some of you guys are going to say, well, the core is always at the bottom of this pillar in the midsection. Well, if that's true, guys, if you will confirm that, that's great. And what I'm going to do is just... Because obviously... Oh, go away. What I'm just going to do is open this entrance up a little bit, because obviously with that raptor hanging around being a bit antisocial, it's going to be a bit of a pain in the neck, but there is a quick way to get the core, seeing it's in that position. So I'm just going to cancel that. I'm just going to... Okay, just going to... And what we should be able to do... Actually, we could probably kill that raptor as well if he's... Or has he moved away? Oh, there's a creature there. Get the guns. Wait. Had enough of you. And what we should be able to, guys, is we inch in. Should be able to destroy the core like that. Okay. Right, let's just level off. I'm just gonna... Well, not much meat. Aggressive dinosaur. Okay. And again, we're just gonna go back up onto the top. And level off. And just drop out. What we should be able to do is just drop the core onto the top like that. And just gonna... I think we can land here actually, guys, so I think we're just gonna land on the top. And we can power off for the moment, save a tiny bit of power. Of course, once we're on here, we now have access to the actual ship. So what we can do now is, I don't think we can get into the wardrobe, can we? Okay. And again, we're going to be a bit careful here, because obviously, while we're doing this, well, it's not much good, is it? Is the fact that again, we can get attacked, so I just want to get through this pretty quickly, guys. You can. So this is the quick way to loot all the cargo boxes, simply because the alternative is to literally dig them all out, which is incredibly tedious, as I've already said, guys. We're getting a fairly good haul here. So I've got not as good as... I'm sure they've nerfed the inventory on these cargo boxes compared to what they used to be like. I'm sure we used to get more from here. Right. So we're just gonna come up here a bit more. I'm nearly there, guys. Sorry about this. Now, what I will say is this isn't all the loot that's actually inside of the MS Titan. There are some tables which don't show up on here. Well, I don't think they do. Let's just do this and then we'll have a quick look, guys, through the list. So there are some items which do not show up when you actually loot this. So, right, so we've got that there. And if we come down here, we've got a small table, but I don't think... So it's got a couple of small tables here, but you can't actually access them directly, the same as the 2 wardrobes. So what we really need to do, all the closets, so we do need to find those. And of course the other thing we can also do, well, I'll just do it from the ship, so because it's a bit safer. Let's get back up in here. And of course we're back to the discussion that I said before. Oops, no, we don't need that. We actually need the multi-tool. And what we're going to do is go for a disassemble. And I don't know if these are hardened steel blocks. Now, if you saw that listing, it said that there's some thrusters here, and the thrusters tend to be over this side. Oops, I just picked up a truss block. So when you're actually digging this out, you've got to accept that. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. What I tend to do is actually deconstruct the truss blocks, because they're only steel, and well, yeah, I mean you could keep the steel plates, guys, but and I think if you just see there, that's actually a cargo box there, so that goes to show you guys. So what you can do is just flip across and just take out the cargo boxes, like the truss, thin slope. Okay, maybe disassemble that one, because once we're inside, and I think this is a wardrobe, so if we can get here now. Well, oops. Actually, I need. Okay. So here's the wardrobes. I got a health kit, that's okay. Right, I better now actually get back to here, and we better drop off some of this stuff. So I'm just going to drop this off, guys. And I think that's enough for the steel plates. And I think the actual tables are down here. So if we come here, and again you definitely want to keep some altitude here, because obviously this is the low end where that spider came up from. I'm pretty sure the tables are down in here somewhere. So we're just gonna let me just okay. In fact, they might be up around here. What's that there? Okay, let me just. That's actually a capacitor decor. I think I'll deconstruct that. There, just deconstruct that. That's the table. So we can get. Oops, it is. So we're just gonna. What's that? That's an oxygen tank boost. Okay, that'll be okay. At the very least, we can sell it. And I think the other one is up here, because there's another decor built in here. So we're just gonna dig out through here, guys, and maybe we'll just deconstruct it. Yeah, we've got a couple of mechanical components. Probably deconstruct that as well. Right, just keep digging. Oops. So I'm pretty sure the other table is up here. There it is. So just dig this out a little bit. And we've got a jetpack boost. Okay, well that's not too bad, guys. And as I say, you can keep digging everything out here. I mean, what I tend to do is once I've got the core on this MS Titan, I tend to just treat it as a resource. I mean, that's an armored door, so we're certainly going to disassemble that. I mean, automatic door is quite useful. Then well, just deconstruct the truss block, because once you've opened up this, you can actually now start to excavate down into the base if you really want to. So you can just keep digging down, and eventually you get underneath like this, guys. And I mean, the extent you want to dig it out is totally up to you. As I say, I tend to treat it as a little bit of a resource that I can come back to when and when I need things. So we got some hard, but the hardened steel blocks, you can just take them out like this, and of course that means you can get back up on the floor, because we've got control of the building or the ship. A couple of things you do want to take out is these, I think this slope here, and I think these are quite useful resources to have. I think they translate into armoured window blocks, so these are quite a good thing to actually take out. I mean, it saves you a lot of resources, and of course there's plenty over this side as well, all buried down. So this is, I mean, especially if you're planning on building a capital ship, these armoured window blocks can save you quite a lot in the way of resources. So snagging these, but also be aware, guys, that if you want to work on this on foot, by doing what I'm just doing, is you are actually opening up the ship for the local contingent of the nasties to come roaring in and attack you. So, but right, just take that one, take that one. So I do want these armoured window blocks. So this is something I definitely want. It's actually that there. That's just a that's a thin slope. Okay, got a couple of beds. As I was saying, guys, actually, let's just see if I can find the thrusters. Should be buried in here somewhere, but you're gonna have to excavate them out. So probably the best way is to take off the top layer first. Oops, didn't mean to do that. But then again, right, let's just get these here. Oops, we're right on the limit of. Okay. Of course, it's getting dark as well. There's a cargo box there, so. And we'll just dig down. You can see, so there's quite a lot underground, and if you dig down, anyway guys, what I'll do is I'll dig down and see if I can find a thruster. Right guys, here's a thruster here. It's a medium enclosed thruster, you can see here, so we're certainly gonna just make sure we disassemble it. Well, we'll take the. No, I think that's about it, guys. I think so. Just gonna pop in here, just make sure we don't run out. Make sure the fuel's okay. Oh, we probably need to fill it. It's okay. Right. And let's go to here. We might as well look at it this way. So you can see here we've got this thruster block M, which is used for a capital vessel. That's pretty good. Certainly going to want that. Oh, we don't need anything else. Actually, I can do it the opposite way. Actually, let's start back. Like this. The reason I'm reversing this is because I'm going to go back to base anyway. So, right. And what we're going to do just to round this part off is, I think we can fly back to base. I don't want to drag this out too long, guys. I want to keep these videos relatively short. And of course, as we fly back, we're flying back into the daylight. Haven't had an actual raid yet in this part, so you can see here. So this is one of the advantages. If you look in the top right there, guys, you'll see that we've now returned to daylight because we've actually flown back this way. So. And this is something you want to bear in mind when you're flying around and you're planning your trips, is what part of the planet will be daylight if you want to see what you're actually doing. So we're just going to fly in here, drop down, and of course, so we're just going to in there, back to first person, power off. And of course, the first thing I want to do is, now we're here, is we're going to visit the med station. I can remember where it is. I'm sure I got a med station. There it is. Because of course we're going to get healthy again. So nice and healthy. Food's a little bit low, but that's not a problem because we've got plenty of crops growing. And I'll just put everything in the advanced constructor first. Put that in there, put that in there, got that there, the iron ingots. We can put that. Crushed stone, I suppose we can put that in there for the moment. That can go in the fridges. A bit low on meat actually. Let's see. Actually, what I probably could do with actually, guys, is actually upgrading one of these. Okay, let's just do that just to wind the part up, guys. So I think we'll just put most of this stuff into the junk box. Oops, no, don't want that. That can go into the junk box. Where's the armor locker? These can just go into the armor locker. And so that's that bit there, guys. That's that done. And oh yeah, I've just remembered what I need to do is now just to wind this part up, guys. What I want to do is actually upgrade a fridge to a tier 2. I think I've got a tier 2 fridge. Let me just make sure I've unlocked it. Yeah, I've got a tier 2 fridge unlocked. But as you see, if you move up to it, I need an entry matrix, 2 capacitive devices, and 7 steel plates and 3 nanotubes. Okay, this could be interesting. I'm not sure if I got any. I should have some capacitive devices. So what I will probably do is just hook the cobalt alloy. Well, we can just do this the quick way, guys. I must have some capacitors in here somewhere. Come off it. There we are. There's the energy matrix, and I've forgotten what the last bit is. Nanotubes. Okay. And we must have some nanotubes in here. Yeah. So I'll just dump that into there, and that means we can upgrade that. Look at that, see, instant upgrade. And whoops, and of course, I mean, it's worth it to upgrade the fridge. In fact, it's worth upgrading whenever, if you've got a chance to do it. And let's put this back in like that. Actually, let's take the crushed stone out of here. Any more crushed stone? I don't really want crushed stone in here. Maybe we could put the crushed stone into this one, and the large constructor can be my general purpose kind of production area. Oh, I've got some power cells in here as well. Okay, didn't notice that, guys. Let me just, sorry, I'm getting a bit distracted. General supplies. Let's just drop some more in here. I don't want to carry too many with me because I don't need that many. And that can go in, because that needs to go into the food processor. I'm not sure why I keep alien parts in the food processor, but it just seems a convenient place to put it. Anyway, guys, I've started to ramble, so this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. Again, any of you guys got tips on taking apart MS Titan, feel free to add them to the video description. I'm always open to new ideas, new approaches. So until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.